there, Skip here, and welcome to this ambassador training video on how the Superfood Matrix delivery system works. This is one of the, when you understand the magic of this technology, it really is science and nature combining in the 21st century to give us the nutrients that we need to give to the body so that the body can do its thing. Because remember the saying, live now. Nutrients, oxygen and water. We want to be making sure that we get so many live nutrients in the body every single day, as many as we can, from superfoods, from the supplements, from whole food, good wild food, food that comes straight from nature. That's what we want to be making sure that we focus on, loading the body up with all of these live nutrients that can get in our blood, can be circulated around the body so that they're delivered to where they're needed. So, how does the Superfood Matrix delivery system work? Just the way nature works. I don't believe that we can improve on nature. What I do believe is that we can learn so much from nature, because you just have to look around to see that nature was here before humans, and the chances are nature will probably be here after humans, so that there's a certain amount of intelligence that's within nature that we want to be learning from and understanding. So let me explain what I mean. If you go and eat a normal food, you don't have to do anything but chew that food for those nutrients that are in the food to be delivered to where they're needed in the body. So how does that happen? It happens because within that food, there's a matrix. So let me use the metaphor of us eating an orange. And let's say that you and I, we're both eating the same orange, but let's say you've got half the orange, I've got half the orange, and we've got different bodies. We put different demands on our bodies. So different nutrients are going to want to get delivered to different parts of our bodies because we're different. And that's one of the beautiful things about living on this planet. There's so many different people about. And we know that everyone's body is going to have a different needs. There's different demands being put on them. So because we know we're different, how do we know that all these nutrients are getting delivered to the right place? Well, nature does it. So all we're doing is eating the food from nature, and for thousands and thousands of years, when we've lived off the planet, we didn't have a lot of the diseases that we had nowadays, because it's just real food going in. There's no chemicals, there's nothing going in that was unnatural back in the day. But now there's so many things going in: processed foods, chemicals in the water, chemicals in the air, chemicals in the food, chemicals on the stuff we spray on our skin. There's chemicals going in everywhere. So we've got to get back to live nutrients. That's what we want to be consuming. So let's say that you've got half an orange and I've got half an orange. Now the matrix within that orange will be things like, because the matrix, think of the matrix as the postman, as the delivery system. So if you had a letter going out there and it had no stamp on it, no address on it, no name on it, what's the chances of that letter being delivered to where you want it to go? It's not going to happen, is it? Because you haven't got the address on it. It doesn't know, it hasn't given a sign to the postman to say, deliver this letter to this address. So you're going to post it in the letterbox and it's going to end up God knows where. That's what happens when you've got isolated nutrients, where these companies at the moment, they are isolating the nutrients, and there is not an isolated nutrient anywhere in nature. It just doesn't exist. So let's say we go back to an orange. What would be the matrix around that orange? So you would have vitamin C, you'd have bioflavonoids, you'd have lipids, proteins, carbohydrates, all these things that form this matrix, so that when you eat it and I eat it, all we've got to do is chew it, and that matrix that's in the orange is going to send a signal, oh, we need some bioflavonoids up here, or we need some lipids down there. It doesn't matter what's needed. The intelligence that's in your body will connect with the intelligence that's in the food or in those live nutrients, so that they know where to get delivered. it's all on autopilot. All you have to do is make the right choice, is select something that's going to serve you. So if they are isolated nutrients where it's only vitamin C, which you might see on a lot of labels out there, you'll see vitamin C, but it's not real vitamin C. It's a synthetic compound of vitamin C, which is not real. It's a synthetic version of that vitamin C, and you'll see the name beside vitamin C, and beside it is the cheat word. And I'm going to flash the cheat word up on the screen so you get it. Whenever you see this word on the screen, that means that that vitamin C is a chemical. It's synthetic. It's an isolate. And you don't have these isolated nutrients anywhere in nature. You have all of these all of these compounds together, and you can see on the screen exactly what they are. In whole food, you've got this whole list. In our nutrients, in the Superfood Matrix Delivery ones, you have the same components. You look at natural or synthetic nutrients, what do you have? Just that one. So anytime you see absorbic acid, you know it's not the real thing. It's not what you would find. You would never find absorbic acid growing in nature. It's made in a factory. So that's a warning signal. So we want to make sure that we have the full Superfood Matrix delivery system, because now what you're doing is you're writing the name and the address on the envelope. So now that gives a sign to the postman to say, deliver these nutrients to this address. So because we have all of these, everything's compounded together in exactly the way, because we grow them. That's how we get it, because we regrow these nutrients in, first of all, in a place where we have an open door policy. You tell me anywhere within the supplement world where you can walk in the factory and see what's going on any time. We are delivering transparency. We want there to be nothing going on behind closed doors, and that way we start to reconnect people back to the truth, because only in the truth are you going to be set free. So let's say now that you have half orange, I have half an orange, we're eating it. As I said, you might need some bioflavonoids up there, or might need some lipids down there. Exactly the same thing happens with these nutrients, where you're taking live nutrients. So imagine this as a metaphor that you take a seed, and it could be any seed, it could be a pumpkin seed, and we leave that seed on the side. What's going to happen? Nothing. We can leave that seed on the side and it could be dormant for months. But the second we take that seed and we put it in the right environment so it can grow, i.e. we put it in some soil, it's got the right minerals and the right nutrients in that soil to be fed into the seed. So what's going to happen is it's going to open up and it's going to sprout. So it's almost like a little leg's going to come out, a root's going to come out, and that starts to activate that seed. Now from that moment on, suddenly the life force energy is going to get higher and higher and higher in that seed, because it's now becoming activated, it's becoming alive. So that you put it in the soil, you give it some water, you give it some sunlight, you give it some love, and then boom, something magical appears through nature. And you can then eat it and it can serve you. Exactly the same happens with these supplements, where you can leave them on the side and they can be dormant for months. But the second you put them in the human body, they become supercharged, they become activated, and literally they become alive, where your body recognizes them as real, live nutrients that are coming straight from nature. So suddenly, because they've got the fully bonded structure with the Superfood Matrix delivery system, all you do is you swallow it, and suddenly every single one of those nutrients is going to know where it needs to be delivered within your body mind, so that you're starting to really feed your body something which I believe is actually more powerful than food. And why do I say that? Because science can now prove that the fruits and vegetables that we're now eating, and the studies done on a global scale can prove this too, that the fruits and vegetables that we're eating only contain 5 to 20% of the nutrients that they did to 100 years ago. Think about that. Chew on that for a second. The fruits and vegetables that we're eating only contain 5 to 20% of the nutritional value that they did to 100 years ago. So even if you're like me, you live on a plant-based diet, everything that goes in has fruits and vegetables within it. Not only do you need to be eating more, but forgetting the food, we want to be getting the value from those nutrients. Because even though I'm having, juices every day, I'm having live foods every single day, I supplement with the Supercharged Essentials and the Superfoods as well, because we need more of those nutrients going in. And this is why with the 10 Commandments for Health, nutrients is above food. Because you can buy food nowadays that there's no nutritional value in that food. So this is why these live nutrients, like the supercharged supplements that we're offering people, you get that charge, you get those nutrients going in. Because again, going back to the 10 Commandments for Health, Commandment of Health number 3, thou shalt supplement thy diet with essential nutrients or essential vitamins and minerals. That's what we want to be making sure we're getting. So what we found is that if the supplements don't have the Superfood Matrix delivery system, basically what happens is the nutrients go in, they don't know where to get delivered to because they haven't got the fully bonded structure that nature has, so they don't know where to go. And what happens is they go, the body then goes, hang on a minute, we don't recognize this, we don't know what this is, get it out of the body. This is something foreign going in. Get it out, get it out. And what happens is, usually it comes out as, excuse my saying, but it comes out as expensive pee. That, from what we've had come back, some people are calling it toxic pee, which has a funny colour to it, has a funny smell to it, and this is not natural. And you want to be making sure that the money that you invest in supplements serves you. You understand how the science works. You understand that the materials that are being used, because this is the other thing that you need to know. Where are they being farmed? Are chemicals being sprayed on? And with ours, nothing. Ours are as clean as you can get. And this is why our stuff gets shipped all over the globe with some of the world's top medical experts using this stuff when people have already got a symptom. So we have some amazing studies of people that have got symptoms, they've been on the supplements and also using the 10 Commandments for Health. This, for them, has been the most powerful program that's helped them in their situation. Now, what I'm focusing on now is prevention is worth way more than a cure. We have the Bare Essentials, and there's another training DVD which really gives you the value that the Bare Essentials give you. Then we go into the Supercharged Essentials, and those are the two maintenance packs that we're really guiding people towards so that they order them on auto ship. Because then what happens is, when you can get any human procedure out of the game, where you can literally automate it, and the automated system that you've got going on really programs this human system with all the goodness, i.e. I don't have to spend time going to buy my nutrients. I don't have to walk to the shop. I don't have to think about what I want to go and get. I don't have to squeeze it into my day, because one of the things that we're finding we're always short of nowadays is time. So what you want to be doing is spending your time doing the very things that serve you so that you can grow, that you can expand, and so that you can serve others in that process. So with the supplements, we introduced the auto ship. So what does that mean? Every single month, all you have to do is walk to your front door, take the package, take it to your kitchen, undo them, and take them. That's as much time and effort as this is now going to take up in your day. It's all automated. You can now rest assured that your body is getting live nutrients. That these nutrients, you're not just going to consume them, not just live, organic, raw ingredients. And by the way, here's some of the big no-nos, because anytime that you're speaking to people about this stuff, You want to be able to communicate to them in a way which shows them that you care. Because remember, people don't care about how much you know until they know how much you care. It's so important that you tune into them, that you become, you give them empathy to where they're at. You give them an understanding, and it really comes down to the number one thing: understand and appreciate their model of the world. Now, when you really care about people and you know that some simple things that you want to be ticking off, if they are taking supplements at the moment where they are using heat pressed manufacturing processes, I can tell you now, at that point, no matter what ingredients they use, at the point where they heat press them, all of the live nutrients and all those live enzymes, they've been zapped right at that point. So the aliveness, the intelligence that was in those nutrients has just been fried. It's been like literally just destroyed. So we only use cold pressing. And if anyone is using heat pressing, you know, or you now know that anything that you heat over 115 degrees destroys all the enzymes. So it needs to be cold pressed. So you can ask them, what supplements do you take? And say, do you know if these are heat pressed or cold pressed? And if they don't know, you can guarantee that they will be heat pressed, because cold pressing, one, it costs a lot more money, and two, there's an art to it as well as it being a science. So there's only a few people around the world that have really mastered the art of cold pressing live nutrients together in a tablet form, and we're one of them. So rest assured that one, you know that you're getting the very best, but two, you can also communicate this information to other people that you're sharing this wisdom with as well. So second thing is, there's no bulking agents, there's no fillers. What companies are using as bulking agents and fillers at the moment are things like petrol and coal derivatives. And is that natural? Yes. Can it be labelled as organic? Yes. Was it ever designed to go into the human system? No. So be very aware of how these companies can manipulate certain words in their favour, but ultimately it's not in the favour of the customer or the consumer, because what they're putting in their body certainly isn't serving them from a health perspective. So these things we just need to be aware of. Anytime that there's isolated nutrients, again, big no-no. Don't go anywhere near that, because then immediately you know it's synthetic, or the body can't recognise it as something real. So there's some simple tips there, really around understanding what the process is from getting it from when it's being grown to getting it in a tablet or a powder or a capsule. Now, our procedure is the highest that I've ever known in really having a screening process that, for me, I will not sacrifice any quality. I don't have my focus on anything to do with the finances, which to me I think is a good thing, because all I'm looking for is top quality. Because if I sacrifice any type of quality, what happens is, by the time it's put into the capsule or the powder and we do that, the body is then not going to be getting the very best of the best. So it's very important that you know that anything that, because I didn't want, you have to understand this as well, I didn't want my name or my picture on the company whatsoever. Because my business advisors at the time were saying, well, if your name's on it and your face is on it, then the business is effectively you, so you're not going to be able to have an exit strategy. You're not going to be able to have gear the company up to the point where you can exit from the company and sell it for an obscene amount of money. Now, that just doesn't serve me in any way. I don't care about the money. What I care about is raising the vibrational frequency on this planet. That means that I'm not going to sacrifice anything that's going to compromise the quality of our products. I'm always looking for the next level. I'm always looking for a way where we can deliver top quality products, services, events, processes to people. That's my mission, and anything else other than that doesn't come on my radar. It doesn't even get looking. So it's very important that you understand that I'm not being forced into a corner by a board of directors. I don't have other shareholders owning the company, so all they're interested in is a return on their investment. I have nothing. That's why I've grown the company in this way, so that I can continue to call the shots without somebody coming in who might convince me of a good decision because it's just a good business decision. The only decisions I'm interested in are the decisions that serve you immediately in this moment. And every time that you're taking the supplements, you have 100% certainty that what you're taking is really serving your physical body, your mind, allowing intelligence to be fed back into your body to open you up to a whole new world of possibilities. Now that may sound a little bit woo-wooey, but just think about the logic behind it. When you really start to give your body and your mind what it needs, then it's fueling yourself up. It's like putting Coca-Cola in a sports car. It's not going to run efficiently. When you put the best fuel in it, then you're going to have an incredible ride. And this is your vehicle for life. So all I want you to do is for you to have an incredible ride through life in this physical body that's not going to break down, that you're feeding it all the right stuff. Remember, the supplements is part of a system. It's part of the 10 Commandments for health. So just rest assured that you're giving your body what you need and you're sharing that information, that wisdom with other people so that you then get to give the gift to them. And it's really important that you then start to see the benefits that it's adding to their life. Because when you can see that and you have direct experience of, wow, this is starting to activate me. This is actually starting to get me switched on. This is starting to plug me into something. And you notice it yourself, and then you start to notice it in other people as well. That's you becoming consciously aware as you're growing and you're expanding and you're becoming more. Because it's so important that you really do wake up inside this human body, and all you need to do is feed it what it needs. And we now know that as a human species, one of the things that we need is live nutrients. That's why we was given food back in the day, so we could pick the food and it contains all those live nutrients. Now we know we've kind of, through fast crop rotation, all the acid rain, all the chemicals, the herbicides, the pesticides, the fungicides, all of this stuff that we've been spraying, it's compromised the food that we've been eating because it's now covered in chemicals, and the chemicals have gotten into the soils. And even if you're buying what we call like normal organic, those chemicals were once in the soil, so they're still getting in the foods. Whereas eating the stuff that we're putting in these nutrients, you've got 100% live nutrients going in every single day. Now think about this as a compounding effect, because some people notice it straight away. Like for me, when there's been a few times when I've stopped taking the Supercharged Essentials, and it's purely because I've been away. I decided to stay in a place for a few weeks longer, which meant that I actually ran out of some of the supplements that I had. And in those moments where those nutrients weren't coming into the body, it was like I felt I'd been unplugged. And it was very subtle, but because I'm very sensitive, I have the awareness that something just wasn't right. And it's like my mental clarity is not switched on as much. I'm not in the moment as much as I usually am. I'm not like plugged into as many things. Second I got back and all those live nutrients started going again, it was like the magic started coming in again. So we've also had other, and some people will notice that. You'll notice it immediately. Some people notice it over a long period of time, where suddenly, as time has evolved, they suddenly look back to how they were before they started taking them, and over a year-long period, they can't believe how far they've come on. Everyone notices them in different ways, and it's giving you the awareness that everyone's wired up differently, everyone thinks differently, everyone processes things differently, and it's really just down to understanding that you are where you are in life because of choices that you're making. And when we make a choice again and again and again and again and again, it drops down into the unconscious part of what we are, or the higher than conscious part of what we are. So what that means is that you can start to make decisions without having to think about it. That's why we do the auto shipping, and remember, boom, it's on autopilot. So what you'll find is that every single day you're waking up, you'll be in the habit of just making sure that you get the bare essentials in, you get the supercharged essentials in, or you get the superfoods in, because that way you know that from a nutrient point of view that you're getting those nutrients into the blood, so that your river of life, because that's what your blood is delivering all of these nutrients all the way around the body, giving your body the fuel it needs, so that as it keeps rebuilding itself, because a year from now, most of the cells in your body are brand new cells. Most of them are totally new cells. But cells have memory. So what we want to be making sure that we do is that you're not aging in the way that most people age. Because when you give your body even just those top three things, the oxygen, the nutrients, and the water, those three things are going to really help your body to cleanse itself, to rebuild itself, so that within a year of you taking just those three things and just doing the top three commandments for health, suddenly in 12 months' time, you will be in a body and a mind that is more activated, you're having more fun in, it's not breaking down, it communicates to you in a way that suddenly your relationship with yourself is a lot clearer, you have a lot more clarity, you understand what's going on a lot more, and it's a lot easier for you to trust this wisdom, this magic that's inside of you. Because if you keep going up to the brain, what happens is you're just going to get what you've put in the brain. You know, your brain's like Google. Whatever you put in Google, it gives you back. So whatever you put in your brain, it's going to give you back. So we want to be making sure that these 10 things, these 10 commandments for health, are something that is in your life every single day. And as you get used to taking the supercharged essentials or the bare essentials every single day, that is going to be one of those commandments ticked off. And you know that when you get all 10 commandments for health in your life every single day without having to think about it, at that point, boom, you are on autopilot and your life is being guided in exactly the direction where you want it to go. So suddenly now you can look at every single area of your life and feel fulfillment, because success without fulfillment is failure. And we want you achieving success in all areas of your life. That's why we've set up this ambassador program, because it's such an easy way for you to introduce people into the environment, for you to get paid by doing that, for you to stay in the environment as well, and for you to keep growing and learning and expanding and really living with what we call eternal youth. So that as you start to get older, you're not breaking down, because you're not being toxic. You're not having your body be this garbage disposal unit. You're using your body as something that you nourish, because it comes down to the simple saying, your body and mind, they're your temple. So make sure that within your temple, you're feeding it all the good stuff. And now I'm going to explain, or I'll explain in the next video, the bare essentials, so you understand more about them. And then after that, I'll do the supercharged essentials, because they're the ones that when you initially learn about these first ones, it's real simple. So understand again, just to quickly recap on the Superfood Matrix delivery system. Anytime you have a fully bonded structure and you take that in, that fully bonded structure is the delivery system. That's the matrix that's going to allow those nutrients to be delivered all around your body. Now, because we have the Superfood Matrix delivery system, all people have to do is take the supplements, swallow them, and they become activated in the human system, in the human body, just like a seed becomes activated when it goes into soil. You give it some water, you give it some sunlight, you give it some love, and boom, you watch magic unfold in front of you. It's exactly the same within your human system. There is so much magic inside of you waiting for you to activate it. And one of the ways is by giving it these live nutrients. So that what happens is you're now going to have nutrients delivered all over your body. I mean, we've had people there within a couple of weeks, they've literally started to notice physical changes within their body. They've noticed their nails growing better. They've noticed their skin getting better. They've noticed their eyes becoming more clearer. They've noticed less haziness in their brain, becoming more in the moment and becoming more aware of what they need to be aware of in the moment. Because just because you're in the moment, you might be vibrating at a certain frequency where you're picking stuff up that just isn't serving you. So anything that you do that's going to start to raise your vibrational frequency or raise your energy levels or boost your immune system up, so if there's an infection coming in, your body has an army of these soldiers to go and deal with the infection. Because the higher your immune system is, the more you're protected in a world that is full of toxins, and it's full of pain, it's full of suffering, it's full of illness. I mean, the latest stats now show that 2 out of every 3 people are either going to get a heart disease, a cancer, or a diabetes. When you're healthy, when you're giving your body and mind what it needs, you're not going to be dealing with symptoms like that. So really make sure that you are living with these 10 commandments for health. And if you're not, again, this is no judgment. This is just a little nudge to say, go back and work out, right, what commandments for health can you add in your life that's going to really allow you to enjoy the process. Because remember, you shouldn't have to be motivated every day to be doing the very things that are going to serve you. Because when they serve you and you connect with that blissful feeling when you do it because it feels good. And that's what all of this comes down to. It's creating habits in your life that allow you to feel good, that allow you to have the freedom in the moment, that allow you to connect with other people through your heart, not necessarily through your mind, and in a way where you have a soul-to-soul connection, where there's just no BS involved. You're not trying to get something from someone, there's no hidden agenda. All you want to do is serve them at the highest level. And by going through these training DVDs, you're really going to get to program yourself in a way where this is just going to start to happen on autopilot. You will find yourself talking to total strangers about this stuff. I mean, there isn't anywhere I go now where I don't mention this, because I just want to serve people. And anytime I meet anyone, I'm like, right, okay, how can I serve this person? Sometimes it might just be by holding space for them. Sometimes it might be by giving them a gentle nudge in the right direction. Sometimes it might be suggesting something. Because one of the first things I know that if people are eating junk food and they need live nutrients, just making a suggestion on allowing them to give their body live nutrients every single month without them having to think about it, you've served them at a high level. Because now they're just doing this, and at least they're getting some life force energy pulsing through them. And what you'll find is bit by bit by bit by bit, as you start to get momentum going with them, then suddenly you'll find yourself really having a journey through life with people that you're inspiring, people that are inspiring you, and you'll find that everybody just starts to feed everybody with a lot of this wisdom, a lot of stuff that is forgotten about in the 21st century. And you know, life's meant to be an amazing adventure, and that's why we're here. That's why we're creating this community. That's why we're training up the ambassadors, people just like you, to go out there and spread the word, but not just spread it as a word, spread it as an example, because we want you to be living, breathing versions of what waking up inside the human body is all about, so that you get to play on this planet. You see this planet as a playground, and that way we get rid of stress, because stress is going to age you more than anything. And I'm going to be explaining in the next video more about the bare essentials, and there's a reason why I've put this little pack together, and it's again, only to serve, and it contains all of the essential nutrients that we need just so that we can function at a decent level. I mean, this is the minimum of the nutrients that we need to be getting in on a daily basis. So make sure that you watch the next video, and I'm going to give you that education, I'm going to share more wisdom with you, and look forward to seeing you in the next video. So live strong, live healthy, live long, and make sure you live now, and you now know what the now stands for. Nutrients, oxygen, and water. And for now, I'm out of here.